What's going on, everybody? Give me just a second. We finna get started. Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into another great edition of Titans in Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, and we're going to have a pretty good episode this evening here. And I had to kind of kick it off with some good music. For some of y'all that maybe don't know, I am a wrestling fan. I had to pay homage to the 2018 Royal Rumble winner, the man, Mr. Seth Rollins, Seth freaking Rollins. So kind of had to play a little bit of Burn It Down, in his honor of that. But everybody, welcome into the show. We're going to have a good time this evening. I'm sorry I'm a little late getting started. Had to eat. Had some good Cracker Barrel. Thanks to the lady. And, definitely had to put some thinking together and put together a good show since it is Super Bowl week. So we do have the Super Bowl coming up with the Rams and Patriots. And I know this is Titans in Truth. And yes, this is always going to be Titan-centric. And we're going to tie the Super Bowl to the Tennessee Titans in this show a little bit. We're also going to talk about the Senior Bowl a little bit. Some things that I heard about coming down the pipe as far as some players that kind of stood out a little bit. Also, we could talk maybe just a little bit about the Pro Bowl. I did not watch I only watched about a couple of minutes of the Pro Bowl. Like the first 3 minutes of the Pro Bowl I watched. After that, I didn't watch anymore with that. And I mainly was prepping to watch the Royal Rumble on the WWE Network. So that's where most of my attention was this weekend. But we have a Super Bowl coming up, y'all. And we got the Super Bowl that I wanted the least to happen, but it is happening. The LA Rams taking on the New England Patriots. Boo, I hate that team. I am so sick and tired of seeing the New England Patriots in a Super Bowl. I am sick of it. But that means for us Titans and any other team, we got to do something about it. If we want to keep the Patriots out of the Super Bowl, we need to beat them. We need to beat them so they ain't a part of it. We thought this could be the year that the Patriots go down and the dynasty falls, but overrated Golden Boy ain't going out without a fight. So he's trying to go for number 6. He's trying to have the most Super Bowl wins for one player in NFL history and I do say if, the Patriots win this game. We're definitely going to talk about that. We're definitely going to talk about, the advantages, whether, offense, defense, coaching. I'm not really going to include special teams in on that because, even though special teams can be can flip the game, can definitely do some damage. We mainly focus on offense, defense, and coaching. That's going to be the main part. Both teams are in Atlanta right now. You've had basically media day. You've had some media days happening down there going on. It's a lot of events going on down there in Atlanta right now. You got the NFL honors coming up on Saturday night, the night before the Super Bowl. So we'll find out who the Walter Payton Man of the Year award is. I believe Jarrell Casey's one of the finalists for that award. So it'd be nice if he won it. It would be nice if he won it. He would deserve it. Definitely for a lot of things that he's done. Him and his wife have done around the city of Nashville for the Tennessee Titans and the Nashville community. I definitely hope he gets a shot at that award. Also, again, we're going to talk about the plans have finally been put out for the NFL draft here in Nashville, as far as where everything is going to take place. Where everything is going to take place, where everything is going to go down. That is something I'm going to also mention later on in the show. Got a little nugget as far as a possible NFL draft party destination as well. It's unofficial. It's not completely set in stone, but I got a little nugget for you as far as a good place that you could come and enjoy. Come and enjoy everything. So I'll be putting that out a little bit later. Lance Zierlein came up with a mock draft. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I've seen a couple of mock drafts over the week, and definitely going to talk about that a little bit. And last but not least, before we get out of here, I called into the morning drive on 102.5 The Game. Some of you have probably heard the call on my Facebook page or on the TNT Enforcers page. I called in, as a fan, giving comment to when they were talking about the Senior Bowl. And so I will play that clip for you. I will play that clip for you as we get out of here. And we're going to talk about this cold weather that has been experienced here in Nashville. Definitely went through that and everything. So hopefully everybody gets tuned in. K-True, what's going on with you? Joseph, what's going on? And everything. And before we do get started, I want to give a couple of birthday shout outs. Definitely want to give a couple of birthday shout outs. First off to my guy, Joseph Rodriguez, a.k.a. Benji Rodriguez. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Also a happy birthday shout out. Happy birthday shout out to Miss Lisa Howell. Miss Lisa Howell as well. So happy birthday to both of y'all, big time supporters of Titans and Truth. So I definitely wanted to make sure I at least put those out there as far as birthday shout outs. So let me see. Yeah, definitely to Mr. Rodriguez, to Mr. Jose Rodriguez, and Miss Lisa Townsend Howell. Happy birthday to y'all and everything. So I hope y'all are having good birthdays and everything. So turn up and everything. So I definitely wanted to make sure I put that out there. But everybody keep coming on in. And everything. So we know some people gonna hate on the show and somebody gonna hate on the Titans, of course. So I'm okay with that. We taking in the good with the bad. And Joe said, yeah, I'm rocking Seth Rollins. Got to. Because, watch the Royal Rumble. He burned it down. Got to pay homage to him a little bit. So let's get started on this show. As I said earlier, we have the LA Rams and the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. Going at it for the Vince Lombardi Trophy in Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. The Rams were in this Super Bowl in Atlanta 20 years ago. Now, none of the guys on this team were on the team back in 1999 when they played our beloved Tennessee Titans. And we all remember what the end result was. We had Steve McNair was driving for the win. We had victory in hand. The game was ours. We were about to score and either kick the extra point, go to overtime, or Jeff Fisher go for two. And we had what people have called the tackle. That was supposed to be, Mike Jones, the linebacker at the time of the St. Louis Rams, was supposed to follow Frank Wycheck on his route, and then Kevin Dyson was supposed to come underneath and walk into the end zone, and the Titans are either holding up the Lombardi Trophy or going to overtime. Instead, Mike Jones makes the tackle at the 1-yard line, and I will say this right now. I may be in denial. I might be crazy. Kevin Dyson was in, I tell you. I'm taking that to my grave. Kevin Dyson was in. Titans should be Super Bowl champions back in 1999 in Super Bowl 34. I will take that to my grave. That is something I believe, and I know for a fact. I believe I'm not alone in this. So comment on that. Am I crazy or am I right? Kevin Dyson was in, should have been reviewed. Titans at least go to overtime. I'll carry that to my grave. I guarantee you that. I will have the great wife of mine put on the tombstone. I will say, here lies Christopher Alexander Newell. Titans were in. Touchdown, Super Bowl 34. I will put that on my tombstone and be buried in my Titans gear with that belief. So that would be one of the most painful memories us Titan fans can remember from a Super Bowl in Atlanta 20 years ago. But we got this game coming up. Again, you have about 4 players who have Super Bowl experience on the Rams side, and you have almost over half the roster in New England that has played a Super Bowl or 2 or 5 or 6 or whatever, however many they've been to. It's incredible. Golden Boy is going to play in his 9th Super Bowl in 15 years. 9 in the last 15 years. The Patriots have been in it. Brady's won 5. And I'm praying to God he does not win his 6th. Now, I mentioned this last week. I've already said it before, but I'm going to break it down still because I'm going to be fair. So, he's going for number 6. Belichick's going for it. Robert Kraft's going for another one. We're going to see what happens with that. The LA Rams, you got Sean McVay. You got Jared Goff. This is his first Super Bowl. Todd Gurley, his first Super Bowl. For a lot of these guys on the Rams team, it's their first Super Bowl. One of the only main guys who's played in a Super Bowl before is Aqib Talib on the defensive side. He's one of the main guys that has played in a Super Bowl for the LA Rams. I can honestly say I do not remember some of the other guys that might have played in the Super Bowl for the Rams. Maybe Zierlein, the kicker, might have played in the Super Bowl for the Rams back then. But other than that, I don't really know who else played in the Super Bowl for the Rams at some point for any other team. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with that. K-True said no need for it because if J-Rob makes the moves he's supposed to make, we will win 54. He got to make the moves. This is a crucial offseason without a doubt. He's got to make the moves. So let's get into this game. Let's break it down. Let's start with the offensive side of the football. You have the Rams. They have their quarterback. You got Jared Goff playing in his first Super Bowl. There's a lot of people now coming out thinking that the Rams wanted to trade with us when we traded the number 1 pick. Jeff Fisher was fired. Jared Goff was not looking good after his first year. Sean McVay comes in. Bang, Jared Goff's a star quarterback all of a sudden. You got Todd Gurley, one of the best all-around players in the league. C.J. Anderson is a hell of a backup because I think they both in the playoff game against the Cowboys. Against the Cowboys, both ran for 100 yards. C.J. Anderson having more of the impact of the game. You got a good offensive line with Whitworth, Sullivan, Roger Saffold. On the offensive line, you've got Brandon Cooks, you got Cooper Kupp, you got Robert Woods. You have some weapons on the outside. Todd Gurley catches the ball out of the backfield. So the Rams have a very, very stout offense. On the other side with the New England Patriots, of course, you have Golden Boy, Tom Brady. I'm sorry, I was trying not to throw up. You got him, that number 12 dude that I guess is good and everything. You got James White, a very productive back out of the backfield, catching balls out of the backfield. You have a pretty decent offensive line with Shaq Mason. Golden Boy hasn't been sacked very much. You got Chris Hogan, Philip Dorsett on the outside. You got Cordell Patterson helping in return game, maybe not as much as a receiver, and at times could be a running back. And, of course, you have a banged-up Gronkowski doing that. So as far as offense goes, as much as I want to give an advantage, I want to give an advantage to the LA Rams as far as offense. I gotta give a check mark as far as offense to the Patriots. I just think they have more experience. They have the better quarterback. They have the better weapons, and they have a very good offensive line. James White caught 15 passes out of the backfield in a playoff game. I want to say against the Chargers, caught 15 passes out of the backfield, did not have a single carry, and was effective. So I think New England has the better offense. Defensively, for New England, you have Trey Flowers, you've got Dante Hightower, you have the McCourty twins, Jason and Devin McCourty. And by the way, I will say there is only one Patriots player that I will cheer for in this game. And I'm being biased, but I am going to break this down objectively. I will be cheering for Jason McCourty because Jason McCourty is the one guy in this entire game that deserves to be there. He's a former Titan through and through. He will be a lifetime Titan. I'm pretty sure he will retire as a Tennessee Titan. He'll probably come back here even if he wins the Super Bowl with the Patriots. I'm pretty sure he will sign a one-day contract and retire as a Tennessee Titan. He should. Definitely, because he had some of his best years here. And, he finally got a taste of the playoffs. I'm happy for him. Devin McCourty seems like a cool guy. So, kind of giving a cheer for the McCourty twins. Definitely. So, for Jason McCourty, if he wins a ring, he'll be the only Patriot that I will actually be happy for if they get that ring. And then on the other side with the Rams, their defense is stacked. You got Brockers. You got Aaron Donald, one of the best defensive players in the league. You got Ndamukong Suh. They have a monster defensive front, which is going to be a major challenge for that Patriots offensive line. You also got the secondary, I believe. I think Marcus Peters is going to go. I'm not sure. I don't think he's hurt. I know they've had some issues as far as injuries. I'm trying to check on that. So give me just a moment. Trying to see if he is going to be available for the game. I think Marcus Peters will play in that. So let's see. I'm just checking that out. But anyway, you do have that. You have Talib. You do have Marcus Peters, even though they have struggled a bit and have been banged up some. And you got LaMarcus Joyner back there as well. So, a very stout defense for the Rams. I'm going to give the edge defensively to the Rams on that because I just think they have the better players. Let's see, comment. Joseph Rodriguez, a Kevin Dyson touchdown and Eddie George 2-point conversion in the Super Bowl would have sealed it for us. I agree with that, Joseph. I agree. K2 saying, you really didn't want to say 12 name. You're right. I didn't. But you're right about the Pats having the advantage slightly because Cooper Kupp been out for the season since the middle of the year. And that's a good point. Cooper Kupp is out, and he's a reliable weapon. He's basically a bigger Julian Edelman, if you really think about that. And without Cooper Kupp, that could pose a problem for the Rams, but the Rams still have some weapons. But again, I think the experience side does go with the Patriots, but I think defensively, I'm going to go with the Rams. Now to coaching. And I think this is going to be a overwhelming side for the New England Patriots. I mean, that's an easy one. Belichick has been in this position many, 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 many times before. And I hate saying it. But I'm trying to be professional. I'm trying to be objective. But for some of y'all that do know me, know how much I hate the Patriots. And I hate the Patriots with a passion. But I am going to give the Devils their due. Bill Belichick is by far the greatest coach in NFL history and could probably go down as one of the greatest coaches in sports history. Up there with Red Auerbach. Nick Saban is another. Phil Jackson, Pat Summitt, Gino Auriemma. Belichick is with them on that one, without a doubt. I have to give the devil his due. Belichick, was he was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, got fired back in the late 80s, early 90s, and talk about a retread that worked out. Goes to the New England Patriots after they let Pete Carroll go, and he ends up back in USC coaching the Rams before he goes to the Seahawks. And look what happened to them. All of a sudden, 5 Super Bowl victories, have been in now their 9th Super Bowl in the last 15 years. I mean, it's a dynasty. So I got to give the edge to Belichick, or I love to call him Belicheat, because I think 2 of them Super Bowls they shouldn't have, because of Deflategate and the one against the Seahawks had they just ran Marshawn Lynch. That's a Super Bowl they don't win. And Malcolm Butler, who is a Tennessee Titan now, a great Tennessee Titan, wouldn't have had that interception. So, definitely kudos to Belichick. Now, on the other side, you got Sean McVay, the young hot coach that everybody is trying to copy off of. All these other teams, like the Cincinnati Bengals and, the New York Jets and, the Cleveland Browns and the Arizona Cardinals all went offensive coaches because all of them are trying to be Sean McVay. They're all trying to emulate the success that Sean McVay has. Now, problem is, Sean McVay has only won 2 playoff games all this season. He has not won a Super Bowl yet. Now, if he wins this Super Bowl, then yes, we should copy Sean McVay, without a doubt. I think the Titans are trying to copy Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's a defensive guy. Vrabel is a defensive guy. So, McVay, this is going to be his first Super Bowl. It's basically student versus teacher. It is student versus master. And coaching is David versus Goliath. Bill Belichick is a small Goliath. Sean McVay is a small David. Now, in the Bible, yes, David defeated Goliath, but this Goliath has been kicking tail for a long time. So it's going to be very hard for little David, Sean McVay, to beat the Goliath known as Bill Belichick. But we're going to find out. So, again, I give the edge of coaching to the New England Patriots. Now, with all that being said, I'm going with the Rams to win. I'm going with the LA Rams to win the Super Bowl. Now, let me tell you why before y'all start crushing me. Because I know some of y'all are going to do that. Like, why in the world would you go for the LA Rams? They beat us 20 years ago. They didn't even deserve to be there after what happened in New Orleans. Okay. Theoretically, let me ask you this. Did the Patriots deserve to be there after what happened in Kansas City? Kansas City got robbed just like the Saints did. You know, that roughing the passer call where the guy, I think it was D Ford or Justin Houston, only touched the jersey, didn't even touch the face mask. But mainly if D Ford doesn't line up off sides, Chiefs win, and we're talking Rams Chiefs in the Super Bowl instead of the Patriots. So, even though the Rams, won in controversy over the Saints, they're in, and I'm picking the lesser of two evils. Like I said this last week on Facebook. I'm not excited about this Super Bowl at all. This is the Super Bowl I wanted the least. This one was last. Next to that was Saints Patriots, because I wouldn't mind seeing Breeze versus Brady. Then after that was Rams Chiefs. Saints Chiefs was my number one pick. This one was the least of the four that I wanted, but we got it. So I am picking the Rams to win the Super Bowl, and I'm going to say the Rams win this Super Bowl. I'm going to go with a final score. I'm going to go with a final score of 31-28. Yeah. No, never mind. 31-27. That is going to be my pick. Rams win the Super Bowl. They will win the Super Bowl. McVay gets his first. Golden Boy doesn't get number 6. And even though he said he does, there's no way he won't retire. He could just ride on off into the sunset with 5 Super Bowls. And I'll be perfectly happy with that. Ride off, good riddance, Brady gone. NFL could be a happier, safer place. Indeed. For you and for me. And Belichick could go ahead and go with him. That's how I think this game is going to go. Let's see. K-True said, if these, well, I won't say exactly that because it's probably not good for the show, but if these fools win number 6, it will literally be a 6-9-18. 6 wins, 9 attempts, 18 years. One Super Bowl win every 3 years. And a Super Bowl appearance every other year. And that is something. I have never heard of a team. I mean, the Patriots probably have the most Super Bowl appearances in the history of the NFL, and that's happened since about 2000. These last 18 years, Patriots have dominated. They've been in Super Bowls more than the Cowboys, more than the Steelers, more than the 49ers, more than the Packers. And that's saying a lot. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, that is incredible. If they get this, 6 Super Bowl victories in 9 tries over a span of 18 years. Never heard of it. Let's see. Marcus Marigoda says, sorry I'm late. Had a busy day. Understand that. Glad you're here. K True saying I'm picking the Rams. That's right, because the Patriots beat the Rams back in 2001. Back in 2002, I'd say, because of that was, after 9/11. That was after 9/11 in New Orleans. Rams did lose to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So this is a revenge game. This is a rematch from back in 2002. Definitely. So K True says I have 28-24 Rams. Marcus Marigoda going with the Pats, 31-14. Put your predictions out there. Who do you think is going to win? And that's why K-True, I was saying, yes, the 2001 season, because that was right after 9/11. But the game was played in 2002 because it's in January. So, but that was from the 2001 season after 9/11 happened. And, at that time, I'm pretty sure we were all glad to have the Patriots win because it's good to have a team called the Patriots win the Super Bowl after what the country went through. But now we all hate them, and that's perfectly fine with me. So, yeah, 31-27, Rams win, get that Super Bowl. So that is my prediction. Or, as the great Mr. Paul Heyman would say, that is not a prediction. That is a spoiler. Compliments to Paul Heyman for that one. So that is my thought on the Super Bowl. But it should be a lot of fun down there in Atlanta. Now, turning to a much more important event, at least in the hearts of all of us in Titan Nation and in Nashville, we are 85 days away from the biggest party you will ever see here in Nashville, Tennessee. The 2019 NFL Draft is going to be upon us. And Marcus Barry, go to Super Bowl MVP prediction. That is a good one. If I'm going to choose the Super Bowl MVP, I'm going to go with C.J. Anderson. I think C.J. Anderson is going to undercut, have a good game. Even though the obvious choices will be Gurley or Goff or Aaron Donald or maybe even Ndamukong Suh. It is always a guy that you didn't expect that ends up winning the MVP most of the time. So I think I'm going to say a dark horse is going to be C.J. Anderson if he has a big game, runs over 100 yards, because he looks like a Mack truck. And if you get a lead in the fourth quarter, the Patriots are not going to want to tackle that guy. He looks like a Mack truck running through, and he can run some guys over. So that's my pick as far as MVP, C.J. Anderson, definitely. What's up, Classic Rod? Thank you for checking in with us and everything. So let's talk about the NFL Draft. We're 85 days away, and it has come out today. They have unleashed the details and the plans for, for the plans for the NFL Draft. Joseph said, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. And for all intents and purposes, I don't want to either. But, it's football. I love the game. Definitely going to check it out. And definitely. And you're right. CJ has won a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. That's right. I forgot about that. He is one of the very few Rams that not only have experience, but has a Super Bowl ring. That is very, very true. Of course, Keep Talib is another. They actually have Super Bowl rings. Very true. Thank you very much for that update, K-True. But here are the some of the details of the NFL Draft that's coming here to Nashville. So April 25th through the 27th. Mark that on your calendar. 85 days away. You might want to get here because they're estimating about 300,000 people, 1,000 fans descending on Music City that weekend. And I'm going to be out in it as well. Definitely. You're going to be seeing some Titans of Truth or some Facebook Lives. You're going to definitely be seeing that from me because I'm going to be posted up at some spots talking about this draft and enjoying this huge party that is going to happen. And Classic Ross said, have you seen the Vegas prediction for 2019? No, I haven't. I haven't really gotten into 2019, into the offseason, into the, free agency and stuff just yet or predictions yet. If you post it, let me know and I'll give a comment about it. As far as the draft, of course I'm going. I'm going to be in the middle of all the action as best as I can. So believe me, I'm going to be there. I may see if I could possibly get credentialed for it. I probably won't be, but I will definitely make sure to have as much updates as possible from the draft. So you are going to get some coverage from me, some thoughts on what I think of as far as the draft. And I may not necessarily always be talking about the picks. I may be just talking about the atmosphere, the ambiance of it all, and everything. So let's see. Classic Ross says Vegas is predicting the Titans to go 9-7 again. That would be unacceptable for me if they do that. 9-7 ain't good enough for me next year. Next year for me, I'm expecting, even though we're facing a lot of tough teams, I'm expecting 10-6, 11-5. I'm expecting 10-6 or 11-5 as the ceiling. Definitely. I expect us to beat a couple of teams we're not supposed to beat. I think we should be able to beat Kansas City. I think we should beat a team like Tampa Bay. I think we should beat the Chargers. That's a team we should beat. Now, beating New Orleans, I know will be very difficult. Definitely. But there are some teams on there, even though it's a lot of good offenses, we need to beat, especially in the division. We need to beat Andrew Luck. And we need to take care of Deshaun Watson. That is going to be major. Those are going to be some big games we have to win. No choice, no doubt about it. Let's see. He says Vegas has the Colts 10-6, Texans 11-5. I don't think that's going to happen that way. I think the Texans could take a step back. We'll find out. Colts are going to be dangerous. They're going to have a lot of money in salary cap, over $100 million. We got to basically, and I've said this, I've said it before. John Robinson better build a team that can beat Andrew Luck twice a year, or can beat Deshaun Watson twice a year. He better build it, and he better build that defense. And believe me, there's some good stuff, some good footage I have earlier from my call when I called into 102.5 the game to the morning drive. I'm gonna let y'all hear that. The fact of the matter is, and I'm joking when I say this. Even though I felt this, I'm joking when I say this. I don't really mean this. I jokingly said, the doctor, whoever repaired Andrew Luck, we need to go after him with pitchforks. Somebody should have got that doctor. But I'm actually joking with that. Don't take that seriously. I'm not seriously condoning that. It's a joke, but I'm like, dag rabbit to the doctor who fixed Andrew Luck. Dag! Andrew Luck's not supposed to be playing no more. So I had to joke around with that. Joseph said we need to draft a backup quarterback for Marcus. We will go 12-4 in 2019. I heard Jarrett say that. Jarrett and the GM earlier within the last few weeks. He was like, I expect him to go 12-4. I'm like, Jarrett, you might be having your expectations a little bit too high. Tweak them a little bit. 11-5, 10-6, I could believe that. 12-4 with the offenses we're about to go up against, that might be asking a little too much. But we're going to see as far as what happened with the draft and in free agency, that might change my mind a bit. But again, let's get to the draft plans because I've been wasting time on that. Again, this is I'm getting this off of News Channel 4. From News Channel 4, also this is reported by Jim Wyatt on TitansOnline.com, senior writer. He said, city officials are expecting crowds close to 300,000 for the events associated with the draft. Organizer says this is the largest festival footprint ever for an NFL draft. The main NFL draft stage where the picks are going to be coming, that's where Goodell will go on stage, where the players are going to go on stage. Right in front will be the tables where the picks are going to be coming in. The main stage will be at First Avenue, along First Avenue and Broadway. So right there, Hard Rock, Acme Theater Seat, Nashville Underground, right there, that is the stage. That is where the main stage for the draft is going to be, where, like I said, Goodell will come out, announcing each of the picks and things like that. That's where that's going to be. Also, they said officials have visited several times over the last few months, decided where the stage would be. And the main thing about that was the unveiling of the uniform basically helped seal the deal for that. Selection Square, that's where representatives from each club will make their draft selections. That's where the selections will come from. Will be at the Schmitterhorn Symphony Center. That is where the selections are actually going to be made. The representatives from each team who are going to be writing down the cards writing down the names on the cards from the war rooms. That's where they're going to be. The red carpet event is going to be at the Green at Riverfront Park. Riverfront Park. So right there on the riverfront, I think where some of the taverns and where some of the carriages are, that's where the red carpet is going to be, as far as, you know, the players coming on the red carpet with their families and things like that. That's where that's going to be. Along Broadway, there will be broadcast booths for ABC, NBC, NFL Network. There are going to be some high-level talent doing concerts as well for the main stage, and also another stage is also going to be the Cumberland River, the Cumberland Park, and the parking lot of Nissan Stadium. That spot is going to be all for the NFL experience on the other side of Cumberland. That's where you're going to have like NFL shop is going to be set there where you could shop. You could take a picture of the Lombardi trophy. They're going to have locker displays set up, like how you may have seen pictures of Mariota's locker at the Super Bowl. They're going to have that similar setup at the draft. They're going to have maybe like the, you know, the rows of helmets. And if you've seen any of my pictures from when I went to Philly for the draft, I took a picture with the Titan helmet. There'll be a line full of helmets for each team. So you can take pictures there, take pictures with the Lombardi trophy. You can also, there will be stations set up, like you could run the 40-yard dash. You could do the vertical jump. You could do like a punt pass kick where you could try to, you know, kick a field goal. They're going to have a lot of different combine events out there at the draft as well. So that's going to be on the other side in the Nissan Stadium parking lot across the Cumberland, also at Cumberland Park as well. Let me see. So they haven't released like acts, like actual music artists who are going to be there, but they're saying high level talent. So some big time stars are going to be here. Let's see. They said admission to all events will be free, limited seating and VIP areas. There will be limited seating in some VIP areas, but fans will be able to line the streets of Broadway as the picks are being announced. The draft experience is the football festival I was just talking about at the lots at Nissan Stadium. You have some interactive exhibits, games, virtual reality, autograph sessions are going to be there as well. Here are the times for the draft. On that Thursday, the whole thing will be from noon to 10 as far as you know, the Nashville experience, the NFL experience, and everything on Broadway, you know, leading up to the draft from noon to 10, you could be around that. Friday will be noon to 10 as well, the 26th. And then on April the 27th, 9 p.m. to 6 p.m. As far as rounds 4 through 7. And a lot of times, most people are not going to be around the main stage. They'll be at the NFL experience, which I've been to Philly. The experience is great. I look forward to it. I plan on enjoying it, and I think you should too. You know, they're definitely Mayor Bradley came out with a release saying we're looking forward to showing off our city and our unrivaled live music scene to all who attend. Events like this generate important revenues that allow us to make long-term investments that benefit all of Nashville. So they're looking at a lot of money coming into Nashville, and that's going to be huge. So if you're not living in the Nashville area, make plans to be here. Make plans to be here. And, you know, let's see. Classic Rod said, I think YouTube will shut the live stream down if you go live at the draft. Let's see. I don't know if they'll shut that down. I'll have to check it out, and I'll check it out and see. But I mean, you know, I think as long as I'm not just broadcasting, you know, NFL television on there, then I think that's okay. Because, I mean, you know, that type of stuff is copyrighted by the NFL. And, of course, if something like that goes down, I will say, you know, I do not own the rights to the footage that is of the NFL, something like that, to cover myself with that. So when the picks are getting announced, you know, when that happens, you know, I'll probably, you know, kind of calm that down as the picks are being made. We'll talk about that. So, yeah, I am going to go live with the NFL draft. But, of course, if the NFL is picking, I'm not going to say nothing while they're picking. You know, we'll hold off on that and we'll go from there. So I'll definitely make sure, you know, it's not no copyright infringement or nothing like that. But those are some of the plans as far as the draft. Make your way down. If you're outside the area, you want to join us because this is going to be a huge party. And speaking of a possible party, if you can't get to downtown Nashville, now this is unofficial, but I'm putting this in your mind. I'll have some more news and announcements of this. Looking at a possible Nashville draft party is unofficial, so it's not officially out yet, but there could be a possible NFL draft party that I'm will be a part of. Right now, looking at possibly the Nashville Urban Winery as a location that's off of Main Street, going towards East Nashville. Again, that is not official. More details to come. More details to come as it becomes official. But just put that nugget in your mind that there is a possible draft party that I may be a part of that, you know, could very well be coming up in April. So stay tuned for more details. Again, it is not official. It is just putting a little nugget out there for all of you fans of Titans and Truth. Spread the word out about the show and everything. Make sure you share this out. But more details to come as we go on and get closer to the event. So definitely look at that. Joseph saying we should get hometown boy Golden Tate. If the Eagles let him go, wouldn't mind. It may not be such a bad idea. But that is just an idea of a possible party. Definitely. So more details to come. Now, next thing I want to talk about right quick. Lance Zierlein came out with a mock draft yesterday, and he came out with the mock draft, had 4 quarterbacks going in the top 10. You know, he has in his mock draft, and you can see this on NFL.com, by the way. He has Kyler Murray going number 4 to the Raiders. He has Daniel Jones going 6 to New York. Dwayne Haskins going 7 to the Jags. I hope that doesn't happen for real. And he also has Drew Lock going at number 10 to the Denver Broncos. Interestingly enough, and this is why I have a problem with this mock, Lance Zierlein has at 19 for the Tennessee Titans. He has us drafting Marquise Hollywood Brown, the wide receiver from Oklahoma. Now, yes, Hollywood Brown is a speed demon. He is a speed demon. He will be perfect in the slot, and he got speed for days, much faster than Taywan Taylor. And, you know, in theory, that is not a bad pick. However, that is a stupid pick. That is a dumb pick, and this is why. I want y'all to take a listen to the names that are still on the board after this pick. After Zierlein mocked Marquise Brown to the Titans. And think about our needs now. Look at some of the names that are behind us. You got Cleveland Farrell, pass rusher from Clemson, ends up going 21 to Seattle. You got Jalen Ferguson, the impressive pass rusher from Louisiana Tech, 24 to the Oakland Raiders. Again, big-time names are coming. Dexter Lawrence goes 25 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Another guy, now I'm not familiar with him. I've heard some things about him. Jerry Tillery, a defensive tackle from Notre Dame, goes to the Indianapolis Colts at 26. Ed Oliver goes 28 to the LA Chargers. Christian Wilkins goes 31 to the New England Patriots, a defensive lineman. And I'm trying to think of something. Let me see. Now, Jeffrey Simmons went 12 to the Packers ahead, and Montez Sweat went in the top 10. And then, of course, Ja'Kai Polite went 15. Brian Burns, another pass rusher from Florida State, didn't even go in his first round. But take a look at all that talent that will be on the board that Lance Zierlein passed up. Cleveland Farrell, Dexter Lawrence, Ed Oliver, Christian Wilkins, Jeff Tillery, Brian Burns, all those guys, Jalen Ferguson, 7 big-time players at position of need at our top 1 or 2 positions, and he passed on all of them. That is an injustice. That is a dumb mock for Lance Zierlein. Just as bad as not Todd McShay, but Mel Kiper predicted TJ Hawkinson to the Titans as a tight end. And no disrespect to Hawkinson, I think he's a decent tight end. I've seen him go in the first round. And I mean, and speaking of tight ends, if we're going to go like that, Noah Fant, the tight end from Iowa, who is a good tight end, wasn't even in the first round of his mock. I'm like this. If Christian Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence, Ed Oliver are on the board, I am running one of those names up to Roger Goodell without thinking twice. Because my first major need is either a pass rusher or a defensive lineman. That has to be our first pick. One of those two, without a doubt. Let's see, Classic Round said, we'd love to see Golden Tate with the Titans. K. True says, Eagles have to let a couple people go if they want to keep Tate. K. True said, these experts just hate us. And you might be right. You might be right. They just hate us. Because there's so much talent left in that particular mock that it is ridiculous with that. So, I just wanted to give that little comment there because that was the latest mock draft that I've seen. Some other mocks, I saw Montez Sweat go to us or Jeffrey Simmons, although they are rising up boards. Another I saw, I think Bucky Brooks had a mock with Christian Wilkins going to us. Good pick. Very good pick. Definitely. So I've seen a few mock drafts that have done that. So, I mean, again, I think that we got to take care of business on the defensive side of the ball. And that's where I think that is going to be crucial. So before I do get out of here tonight, I want y'all to hear my call from 102.5 The Game. Give me just a second. I'm going to put that up.
We're going to get to Adam Schefter's report that came out yesterday regarding the championship games from a week ago, a story that just will not die down. But first, let's get your phone calls, 615-737-1025. A couple people to get to. Let's get to Chris and Laverne up next on Morning Drive. What's up, Chris?
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank y'all for taking my call.
Appreciate you checking in.
Yeah, Titans Truth is at your service. But what I liked about your conversation, I think definitely within the first 3 rounds, they definitely need to make sure they go either defensive lineman or pass rusher in the first 2 rounds, vice versa, whichever one is best available. Then maybe they go interior offensive line in the 3rd round, and then after that, could be possibly fair game. So I guess my question or comment is it too bad to ask to overload with defensive line and pass rusher in the first 2 rounds, either or within the first 2 rounds? And, also there was a guy, I think, from Texas A&M, Devon Mack. I saw some stuff about him. He could be a guy maybe, later that could be a possible pickup as well. But this is a great time for these defensive line help or pass rushing help. And, Derek, you might get in the singing mood. I'm about to pick on you a little bit. Let's see if we can dance with maybe Jeffrey Simmons in the first round.
I'd like to nominate Chris, an early nomination for the best call of 2019. I would like to nominate Chris. That was an exceptional call, Chris. Exceptional call. Two defensive front players in the first 2 rounds and an interior offensive lineman in the 3rd round. Yes, sir. Sign me up. That's what I want to see.
Pay that man his money.
Chris,
that caller, Chris and Laverne, epic call. It was great.
Good.
Phenomenal.
Good.
He brought it.
Phenomenal. I think listen, I have no problem with them overloading on the defensive side of the football and going extra into the front 7 and getting 2 dudes next to Casey to go along with Landry. Heck yeah, man. Sign me up. Heck yeah, as teammates would say.
Yeah, exactly.
And then address your offensive line elsewhere. Sign a veteran receiver to free agency. Done. I feel really good about that game plan. And then you got 3 or 4 of the draft picks there you can use on quarterback or defensive back, maybe another linebacker, maybe another offensive lineman. I mean, you've got flexibility then in the back half of that draft. Love that call, Chris. Number 1 call for 2019, in my opinion.
Good job, Chris. Got to make Andrew Luck and Deshaun Watson's life help.
All right, so that was my call. I believe that was on Monday. Yeah, that was on Monday on 102.5, The Game, the morning drive that you can listen to from 6 to 10 a.m. Definitely, and they even tweeted me. I tweeted, giving them thanks, and they tweeted me back. Definitely shout out to 102.5, The Game, to Nick Kale, Braden Gall, Derek Mason, the great Constable Chase McCabe, to everybody there at 102.5. Love their radio station. Love listening to them. So definitely shout out to 102.5 The Game and to the morning drive. But that was my thought. I don't think it's a problem to overload on – it's no problem overloading on the defensive side of the ball because you're going to play later on in that clip. They said, 4 out of 16 games, you're playing Andrew Luck twice. You're playing Deshaun Watson twice. So you got to be able to get both of those guys on their backs or on the ground. And stocking up on the defensive side of the ball will definitely do that. Yes, we need to score points with those teams, but we also got to stop them. So, yeah, that is my plan. Pass rusher or defensive end, whichever's the best in round 1. In round 2, you go with the other. So if you go pass rusher first round, second round, defensive line. Or defensive line first round, pass rusher second round, interior offensive line third round, and then you can go wherever you want the rest of the way. Receiver, quarterback, another corner, another linebacker, another offensive lineman. If you want to do that, hey, there you go. Right there. So compliments to those guys and everything with that. But getting out of here tonight, it was dangerously cold here in Nashville. I believe the high was only 23 degrees. We got a low right now in the teens, around 17 degrees. I know it's worse than like up north in Chicago and in Michigan and in Minnesota. They're talking like wind chills of minus 50 and minus 60, and temperatures are in the negatives for highs. Like Chicago had a wind chill of about minus 60 with a high temperature of negative 16 degrees. So I hope